At 38, Laura Mitchell had everything perfectly under control. Her career, her family, her life. She was a senior marketing executive, precise, disciplined, a master of multitasking. Her color-coded calendar ruled her world. Perfection wasn't her personality. It was her protection. But one morning, as she dressed for work, she felt a small, hard lump just beneath her collarbone. For a moment, she froze. Then she adjusted her blouse and whispered, "It's probably nothing, because perfectionists don't have time to be sick." She booked the mammogram between conference calls, an appointment she nearly canceled twice. The technician smiled politely as Laura stepped into the cold, sterile imaging room. Hold still. Deep breath in. Click. Flash. Silence. The technician's eyes lingered on the screen, just a beat too long. Laura noticed. Her heart skipped. "Is something wrong?" she asked. "The radiologist will take a closer look," the woman replied, forcing a smile. Sound fades. Her footsteps echo down the hospital hallway. In the waiting room, time stopped being linear. The clock ticked louder than usual. A child coughed across the room. Someone laughed softly at a phone, a sound that felt cruel in its normalcy. Laura's fingers drummed against her phone screen. She opened her email, answered 3 client messages, then checked the clock again. 2 minutes had passed. When the nurse finally called her name, Laura's stomach clenched so hard she could barely stand. She followed the nurse into a quiet office with framed medical degrees and no windows. The door clicked shut, and the silence pressed down like a weight. The doctor looked at her chart, then at her, eyes full of caution. "Laura," he began, "it's stage 3 breast cancer. It's invasive, and it's moving fast." The words fell like stones. Her mind cataloged them clinically. Stage 3 invasive surgery, chemo, trying to convert disaster into data. Her husband reached for her hand. Her daughter, just 16, mouthed, "Mom!" Laura straightened her shoulders and asked, "What's the next step?" Because perfectionists don't crumble, at least not yet. The mastectomy was swift, brutal, efficient. When she woke, her chest was wrapped in white bandages and silence. The surgeon said, "We removed everything we could." Then came chemotherapy, relentless, unforgiving. Her spreadsheets became a battlefield of dosage and side effects. But no formula could predict despair. No schedule could control survival. By the 4th round of chemo, Laura couldn't stand on her own. Emails went unanswered. Clients stopped calling. Her hair was gone, her energy too. When her oncologist said, "Your body can't take more," Laura heard failure. That night, she whispered to her husband, "All my life I've managed chaos. Now chaos is managing me." He looked at her and said, "Then maybe it's time to stop managing it and start listening." A friend recommended Dr. Alan Reese, a white-haired oncologist who believed medicine and nature should never have been separated. At first, Laura dismissed the idea. "Herbs and meditation?" she scoffed. "That's not medicine." But desperation has a way of softening disbelief. When she met Dr. Reese, his tone was calm, unhurried. "We'll keep your oncologist involved," he said, "but we'll also work on your immune system, your nutrition, your spirit. Medicine fights disease. Nature remembers balance." For the first time, Laura felt something she hadn't felt in months. A hint of calm. Her plan was a careful blend of science and nature. Continue low-dose chemo, mistletoe therapy to stimulate the immune system, turmeric, green tea, and milk thistle for inflammation and detox. A plant-based diet, rich in greens and antioxidants. Breathwork and meditation to retrain her nervous system. You'll feel worse before you feel better, Dr. Reese warned. Healing is a storm, not a straight line. He was right. Within days, her body rebelled. Fevers, chills, trembling. Her husband panicked. She's dying. Dr. Reese's voice was calm on the phone. No, she's cleansing. Don't interfere. Let her body remember. At 2:43 a.m., Laura's pulse slowed. Her lips turned pale. Her husband sat beside her, praying silently. He thought it was the end. But at dawn, light touched her face, and her breathing steadied. Her fever broke. She hadn't died. She had released what was killing her. Not just the toxins, but the fear. Weeks passed, and small miracles appeared. Her appetite returned. Her energy lifted. Her laughter, faint but real, filled the kitchen again. Her scans stabilized. Her cancer markers dropped. Her oncologist stared at the results. This isn't supposed to happen. Dr. Reese smiled softly. Late-stage cancer isn't always a death sentence. Sometimes it's a second chance to live differently. A year later, Laura stood before medical students. I spent my life controlling outcomes, she said. Cancer forced me to surrender. And that's when healing began. Her case became part of a university study on integrative oncology, teaching future doctors that medicine and nature work best together. Today, Laura gardens every morning, sunlight glinting off the scars she once feared. She smiles at them now, proof that perfection was never the goal. Healing was. Late-stage cancer is not a death sentence, she tells others. It's a reminder that even in darkness, life is still choosing you, because sometimes the strongest medicine isn't in a prescription bottle. It's in the courage to believe healing can still happen. Beyond prescription, where science meets spirit, and every ending hides a beginning.